So we are back here. Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez. Actually, pretty decent fight night card. Like for the today's standards, I'm not going to rant too much. I am sick as fuck. So seeing this has just made my day so much better. But listen, I'm going to break down the whole card. This won't be a long one. We're going to fly through it because it is quite an average card. Main event. Anthony Hernandez has picked up a lot of steam the last couple of months. Okay, he's been definitely one of the biggest prospects, especially in this division. And I feel like he's definitely going to be able to get this one done. Okay, middleweight's quite like shit. We all know middleweight's just full of like really shit fighters that just know how to win, and anyone who's skillful just ends up fucking losing. Um, Anthony Hernandez though, he's picked up some good wins against like Brendan Allen, Michel Pereira, Roman Kopylov, Edmund Shabazian, Marc-André Brau, Josh Friend as well. It's actually a pretty decent win. So he's been on an absolute fucking tear. I did not expect him to get through Brendan Allen. Now I won't lie, that was a rematch as well, which is kind of weird. But Roman Dolidze, he's coming off a loss to Marvin Vettori. So I really feel like that. He's got some good wins though. Like submitting Jack Hermanson. I've completely forgot Jack Hermanson's even alive. Sorry, he's not coming off to Vettori. He just lost to Vettori. He beat Vettori. He's coming off a win to Vettori. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry. He lost to Vettori the last time. He beat Kevin Holland, beat Anthony Smith. He lost to Nasiruddin Imavov, which was a bit shit, but I feel like he's got some good skill sets on the feet. But I feel like Anthony Hernandez he's kind of on this level of form right now where I feel like he's just kind of burning through the division, kind of get into those top ranks, get into those like fucking Adesanyas, Whitakers, even Doritters at the top now. He's got some good skills on the ground. I feel like he's well rounded. I don't know if obviously I feel like he's a little bit better on the ground. He's got a lot of fucking good submissions. First third round TKO on the ground and pound of Edmund Shabazian's a very good win. Edmund Shabazian's obviously like a really big, like was a big prospect. He's kind of one of those fighters like. Remember he had that strange fucking stoppage against Derek Brunson? Like just random shit like that. Edmund Shabazian just kind of pops up in, but as regards the main event, I think Anthony Hernandez is going to get this one done. I feel like he's going to get it done in the third round via I'll go with ground and pound on Rome Dolidze. Rome Dolidze's got decent enough grappling to be fair. I feel like this could see moments on the feet. And I feel like Anthony Hernandez is definitely going to have moments. I feel like obviously if it goes to the ground, I feel like he's going to have success. But Rome Dolidze beating Marvin Vettori doesn't tell me anything apart from that you're above the top 10. Do you know what I mean? You're a top 10 level fighter. And for middleweight, that's not even that hard, to be honest with you. That's not even that hard. But yeah, I'm gonna go Anthony Hernandez via third round TKO on that one. Co-main event, pretty decent enough flyweight scrap here. I won't lie. Steve Ercik versus Ode Osborne. Listen, we all love Steve Ercik. He is quite a good fighter, but I feel like man, oh man, like I love breaking down fight nights. Yeah, I really do. But like, is anyone actually like proper hype for this? Is anyone really looking forward to Roma Dolidze versus fucking Anthony Hernandez? Like, is this really something people are excited about? Like, honestly, on a real here, just maybe it's because I've got like vicious fucking food poisoning and I'm just not in a good mood. But even this fight, Odie Osborne does not deserve to be fighting Steve Ercik. Am I the only one kind of thinks Steve Ercik's gonna fucking piece him up on the feet? If I'm being honest with you, way too much. He's still one of the top flyweights in the world. I know he's kind of gone a bad skid now with Pantoja, Moreno, Kai Car France. I still feel like Steve Ercik's very competitive in this division. I feel like, you know, kind of him versus like Kaya Sakura would be a good fight. I'd love to see it. That would actually be a banger fight. That would be fucking class. I'd love to see that. If Kaya Sakura gets through Tim Elliott, which I think he will, why not see this fight next? Why not see this fight next? That would be an absolute cracker of a fight. But yeah, I feel like Steve Ercik's going to win. I feel like he's going to be able to piece him up on the feet, and I feel like he's going to be able to find his shots. Odie Osborne, not really, haven't seen it. He's got like a win against like Charles Johnson, I think, and that was like a split decision. So not much to be saying here about this fight. Steve Ercik via decision on that one, 3 rounds as well. It's going to get done. Next up, we have Angela Hill versus Jasmine Likindo, sorry. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Sorry, it's not. It's fucking hell, man. I'm tweaking out here. Isman Likindo. I'm gonna go Likindo on this one. I just feel so ass, man. Holy fuck. I'm breaking down cards and fights like this. Just fucking hell. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go her on this one. I'm gonna go via second round TKO. Next up, Andre Philly versus Christian Rodriguez, an actual fight we are all kind of semi hype for, not even hype, but like this is actually a pretty decent fight. You know what, Christian Rodriguez didn't really do much. You know, he's been kind of on and off. Andre Philly though, I think we all just kind of like Andre Philly. He's kind of got that team alpha male kind of clout about him, and I feel like Philly's just kind of one of those people. Like I actually really like Andre Philly. I always really like Andre Philly. I'm gonna actually pick Andre Philly in this fight. Christian Rodriguez is definitely a bit of a hard matchup for him. I feel like Philly's good on the ground though, and he's going to be able to maneuver his way on the feet. That's kind of why he's kind of coming off a first round TKO finish though. That's a problem. So, but I don't think Christian Rodriguez has an awful lot of power in his hands. You know, both these guys are coming off losses. I don't know if he really kicked on from the Raul Rosas Jr. You know what I mean? He went on. He's got some decent wins though, like Austin Bahi as well. Bashi, you know, he's a good prospect as well. So I don't know. It's a weird one. Philly's. I got a lot of love for Philly. I got a lot of love for Philly. I think he's a good fighter. He's going to be able to keep this one standing, and I feel like Andre Philly's going to find his shots, and he's going to get this one done via decision. Next up, Miles Johns. What a fucking throwback Miles Johns is in the game. Holy shit. Versus Gene Matsumoto. Miles Johns is just a fucking G, but he's gonna lose. I feel like Miles Johns just kind of up there. You know, Gene Matsumoto. I've kind of seen a few of his fights, and I feel like he's kind of like on the way up, where Miles Johns is kind of on the way out. Do you know what I mean? Miles Johns is kind of one of those fighters where you put him in there against a bit of a prospect, he loses, the other guy gets a little bit of hype because Miles Johns. We all know Miles Johns is a bit of a kind of fan favorite within the hardcore sport. I feel like, you know, G's going to be able to get this one done. I feel like he's going to be a bit too much kind of everywhere. I feel like he'd probably submit him in this fight. I don't know. Miles Johns is just a G, though. I really like Miles Johns. So, but I feel like he's going to get finished on this one. Next up, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Eric Anders. Finally, we're at the end of the main card. Wow. Fucking class main card, that. Christian Rodriguez is going to get this one done. Christian Leroy Duncan. Sorry, I don't know why I said Christian Rodriguez. I feel like Duncan. I've been watching Duncan since he signed with the UFC. I remember he signed, and I was watching him in Cage Warriors, and it was his last fight was kind of weird because his opponent got in like a car crash the day of the fight. It was like a Team Europe versus Team US kind of fight, and he just signed to the UFC, and you know he's had some kind of up and down performances. Obviously, he lost like RoboCop and stuff like that, which wasn't a great win. Sorry, it wasn't a great result. Not a great win, is right. But I feel like Duncan's going to get this one definitely get this one done. He's probably going to be way too much on the feet. Yeah, I feel like he'll just piece up Eric Anders on the feet. He's got good striking, he's got elusive striking, but he needs to kind of put it together a little bit more before he does the flashy shit. That's always kind of been my opinion on Duncan. Very good, does a lot of flashy shit that kind of is pointless and it looks good, but it's not really connecting. If it connected, you would be an extremely dangerous striker at middleweight, bro. Extremely dangerous, but he needs to piece it all together, bro. He needs to piece it all together. Next up, we have Julius Walker versus Rafael Conqueror. I'm gonna go with Julius Walker on this one. Bookies have him a massive favorite. He's going to be able to get this one done via second round TKO. Not much more needs to be said. Not much more needs to be fucking said about the rest of these fights. Like EJ Smith, I'll go. I'll go with EJ Smith on this one. He's another massive favorite. Yeah, I'll go with him via first round TKO on that one. Next up, Jocelyn Edwards. You know what it is? Jocelyn Edwards seems to be just on every fucking fight night card. She's like a Jessica Andrade. You have to respect it. You actually have to respect it. I'll go with her on this one. She's a decent enough favorite. So, but she just seems to be on every fight night card. Yeah, I'll go with her via decision on this one. I don't really. Yeah, the rest of the card just kind of falls off. Do you know what I mean? So, as regards a quick fire prediction, I'll go with Cody Brundage. I'll go with Gabriella on that one, and I'll go with Uros Medic on that one. Very, very basic enough fight card. Very basic fight card. I'm just kind of struggling to see who's exactly hyped for a card like this. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I love sitting here for half an hour talking about a pay per view or talking about a stacked fight night card that I can just sit and chat about. But when it comes to shit like this, like a Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez, I just have no interest in breaking down every single card, every single fight card, like piece by piece, talking about, oh yeah, I feel like this, that, because like no one cares. No one cares. So I'd rather just get a rapid fire kind of prediction to say, right, this. I know all of these fighters. I watch all of these fighters, but yeah. Full card breakdown. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching.